Seattle protester dies after being struck by car. One of two people who were seriously injured on Saturday after a car drove into a protest on a closed section of Interstate 5 in Seattle has died, the authorities said. Summer Taylor, 24, of Seattle died Saturday night at Harborview Medical Center, a UW-Medicine spokeswoman said. The other injured protester, Diaz Love, 32, of Portland, Oregon, was hospitalized in serious condition, the spokeswoman said. Both had live-streamed the protest before they were injured, the Seattle Times reported. During the early hours of Saturday morning, a small group of protesters gathered on a section of Interstate 5 that had been blocked off by the authorities, said Trooper Chase Van Cleave of the Washington State Patrol. It was one of many protests that have been organized in Seattle and across the country since the killing of George Floyd in police custody in Minneapolis in May. The protesters had been on the highway for a little over an hour when a white car drove southbound through a blockade and toward the protesters at a high rate of speed, striking both victims, Trooper Van Cleave said. The driver continued southbound for over a mile before stopping, he said. Trooper Van Cleave identified the driver as Dawit Collette, 27. Mr. Collette, who the Seattle Times reported is from Seattle, was booked into the King County Jail on Saturday morning on a charge of vehicular assault, according to jail records. Mr. Collette had a sobriety test and the results showed he was not under the influence, according to a police report. While in custody, the authorities described him as being reserved and sullen, and said he asked about the conditions of the injured protesters. Early this morning 2 women were hit by a car and very seriously injured while peacefully protesting, Mayor Jenny Durkan of Seattle said on Twitter on Saturday afternoon. Many others were almost hit and witnessed this horrific event.